Om Sahna Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Dvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may He protect us both. May we both enjoy together. May we both exert together. May our studies become brilliant. May we not be disputatious and hate each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to the online classes. So we are doing the Sthita Prajna. Last time we did what is without knowledge and without meditation, a person of unsteady mind, they are never happy. So this time we'll start with the subsequent verse. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano vidhiyate tadasya harati prajna vayurnavamivabhyasi. Indriya. So this verse, verse number 67, is related to, if you have followed the thought pattern from starting, verse 60, where Krishna mentions yatato yapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitah indriyani pramathini haranti prasabam. So that verse was saying that the turbulent senses of even a wise person can carry away forcefully one's own mind. This is the continuation. Indriyanam hi charata. For the mind which follows the roving senses carries away his intellect as the wind carries away a boat in water. So the example still stays. Sense contacts, when it is when you are moving around in the world, interacting with the sense objects, the weakness seeps in through our own sense organs. And the weakness is the likes and dislikes, possessiveness and attachment of one's mind. So here the Lord says that whenever the five sense organs of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin are playing, Ramate, it's playing in the world, and the mind is also trying to enjoy, any one of them, any one sense organ, if it has one sense weakness towards one object and the mind gets attached to that, that is enough for destruction. So focus here is all the five senses are going. Chances are I may not be attached, or those sense objects may not really trouble me in 4 out of 5. But one weakness is enough. We did this long time back in one of the classes where Adi Shankaracharya gives 5 animals names: fish, bee, deer, elephant, and moth. All these 5 animals of one weakness of each, how it can destroy that particular insect or animal. Here then Shankara says in that book Viveka Chudamani, he says that what to talk about human beings where all the 5 sense organs are indulging into it. One sense organ is enough, one weakness. And our outlook throughout the world, throughout our life, is to focus on where is my weakness, so that I can cover it and I don't get agitated by it. Sense object or sense being. One thing is enough. Therefore, in the Ramayana, Diwali is coming. So everybody knows why Diwali is. We are doing everything, all these festivities of Diwali, of lightings. So what we do in Diwali, you ask any commoner, they will say, sir, in Diwali, what we do is we paint our houses, we clean our houses, we put on the lights, we put on the diyas, and we celebrate the whole Diwali 2-3 days by crackers or whatever, and then give sweets and wear new clothes. This is why. But why Diwali is celebrated? Diwali is celebrated because thousands of years, long time back, there was this man called Rama, Sri Rama, and he defeated an Asura called Ravana thousands of years back. So whatever thousands of years back, we are still celebrating that. So when you look at the mythological part of it, it looks so absurd that what things happened so many years, why are we celebrating now? The whole idea is Rama is within us and Ravana is within us. And this Ravana is represented by 10 heads. And these 10 heads is the 10 sense organs. 5 sense organs of perception: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, and 5 sense organs of action: hands, legs, mouth, reproductive organs, and anus. These 5. So these are the sense organs through which I communicate with the world. And the great Purushottama Rama, the Rama, the person within me, the divinity within me, systematically with the arrow destroys this Ravana. And this Ravana was destroyed. Why? His weakness. What was his weakness? If you go through the story, I don't want to get into the story part of it, but there was Ravana's sister called Shurpanakha, and she was trying to seduce Rama, and she ran away. But before running away, Lakshmana saw to it that he chopped her nose and ears. She was an Asura, by the way. So she went running to Ravana and she told this, Ravana, I met one person. He is very strong and very handsome, very good looking, Rama. And she praised Sita also. And he is married to a lady, and she is also very beautiful, very chaste, very pious type of a lady. She attacked, she exactly knew her elder brother. She attacked on both the fronts. What was his weakness? One weakness, woman. He had a harem full of women, and yet his mind went towards one more. And the narration by Shurpanakha naturally triggered it off. And second, Valor. He thought he is the best amongst all warriors. And there my sister herself says that this person is more handsome, more valiant in fighting than anybody I have seen, says she. So I want to test his strength. Both these accounts, weaknesses, he got destroyed. So this was Ramayana. Just one weakness. Sita got trapped with Ravana because of one weakness. She happened to see on the 13th year the golden deer. And she said, I want that. And she got trapped. So one weakness is enough. What if 5 is there? God save us then. So this one weakness, so this has happened long time back. Now, though, there is no weakness, sir. We are all right. In Diwali, what do? Dhanteras. When the festival of Dhanteras is there. So Dhanteras, we should buy more gold in Dhanteras. Any precious metal you buy, it is considered to be good luck. This kind of a rule would have been brought up by perhaps some jeweler who wanted to sell his wares, It's like saying, that today is what? Today is November, I think so, 12th or 13th. So whatever is the day, say imagine 15th November, let us all celebrate as Pizza Day. It's like that. So everybody's eating pizza, everybody's eating burger. Why? Because we are celebrating 15th November as that. Dhanteras, everybody should buy. Why are you buying? Dhanteras festival is celebrated because Samudra Manthan was going on. Everybody, the Devas as well as the Asuras, wanted Amrit. Amrit means immortality. Immortality means non-affectation by whatever is happening around us. That knowledge they wanted. So Amrit, it represents Vedanta Shastra. They wanted that. And Asuras and Devas both were churning the ocean with a mountain mantra in between, with Kurma, Vishnu supporting behind, underneath the mountain, and the great snake Vasuki as a rope. They were pulling it on. Lot of poison came from the water, lot of things came, and out of that came one god. His name was Dhanvantri. He came in one hand with the vessel full of Amritam, and in another hand, a book. Book represents Ayurveda. Ayur, life, Veda, knowledge. Knowledge of how to live. And the other side, the knowledge of immortality. Whatever happens while you are living, nothing will affect you. So when you understand both these concepts, knowledge which will not make you affected at all, whatever happens around, plus this one life you have to make a just cause of it and take care of it to the best of your ability, because you have only one vehicle, and this one vehicle doesn't have or doesn't come in any other spare parts. If it goes, it goes. You can replace it by something else, but it will never be the original. So this one body you have, take care of it. This knowledge is Dhanteras. And we pray to Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmi represents God or goddess of wealth. Remember, she is not the goddess of money. The god of money is Kubera. He is considered to be Asura, half brother or cousin brother of Ravana. Ravana had so much money that once Kubera and Indra went to him, meet to him, and Ravana was sleeping inside. So the attendant said, "Excuse me, my master is sleeping inside. Do you want me to wake him up?" And Indra and Kubera both were sitting outside. They said, "Please don't wake him up. Whenever he wakes, we will go there." That was the respect of Ravana. He had everything except that one weakness. Similarly, here the whole concept of Lakshmi Puja is gambling. We'll gamble. Diwali night is spent on gambling, which is considered to be a vice. Lakshmi represents wealth, wealth of good values. So when we say Lakshmi Puja, we are inculcating or trying to inculcate good values in our life. So when you understand any festival like this, then Rama kills Ravana. The Rama within me, the virtues within me, kill the lower nature of mind. They subdue the lower nature of mind. The mind says, I should do this, but the intellect says, this is not good for me. Therefore, I will not touch it. So when the subduing part happens of the lower nature, then Rama has won. Then Sita and Rama, Prakriti and Purusha, both become one. There is no differences between. Then the perception of the world is the same. A spiritual person perceives the world in a different way, and an ignorant person sees the world in a different way. One person went to the Taj Mahal. So I asked him, why, how do you find the Taj Mahal? Isn't it beautiful? So he said, what is the beauty about it? It is just a tomb. Correct? Just a tomb, nothing else. Look at the emotion. Somebody asked the same thing of what do you think about Taj Mahal to Rabindranath Tagore. And Tagore, actually Rabindranath Thakur, the Britishers gave it Tagore. Rabindranath Thakur, and Rabindranath Thakur said, it is a beautiful teardrop on the face of eternity. The object remains the same. Your emotion towards the object changes. The world remains the same. Your perception towards the world changes. This is what happens when you control every aspect of it. Therefore, he says, be careful. The senses take charge of the mind, and the mind will take away your thinking capacity, your intellect. And how it will take? Just like a ship is thrown away in the water by the wind. The wind carries the ship, whatever be the size, and throws it and finishes it off. So the example of the ship is given only reference to the power of your mind. Be careful. So whenever the mind says, I like this, just question it. No need to suppress. I always told you, when you want to control this, say control the mind, control the mind. It is nothing fearful. It is like just educating your child. The child may be right sometimes, the child may be wrong sometimes, but you never say that this is not my child. It is yours. The husband is right, husband is wrong, wife is right, but then you live through it and you educate. And the best way of education is you follow it. You follow the whole thing, don't sermonize. You follow and automatically the world will follow. So this is it. If you don't do that, your personality will be destroyed. Tasmad, next verse. Tasmadhyasya mahabaho nigrihitani sarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhyah tasya prajna pratisthita. Tasmad, therefore, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed Arjuna, ready to fight. Tasya prajna pratisthita. His wisdom is established. Whose senses are completely restrained from sense objects. Not killed, not destroyed, not overindulgence, just restrained. Do I need this contact for my evolution? Yes, go ahead with it. No, I don't need, don't go. So even these classes, do I need this kind of a talk to enhance and better my life? Yes, then you listen to it and you will promote it. Both things will happen automatically, because we always say that a mother's attitude is always, when she receives something, she automatically and naturally gives it to her own children or whoever is loved ones around. Similarly, when you find beneficial, you will spread it. If you think, oh, I'm wasting my time listening to this because I already know this now and this I'm trying to implement, then stop it. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Either way, because therefore your senses are restrained. Wherever the mind is going, your intellect brings it back and says, listen, I need this, therefore I'm doing it. I don't need it, therefore I'm not doing it. It's as simple as that. And tasmad, therefore, it refers to, because in the first chapter also, Arjuna is also explaining a lot of things to Krishna. And then he says, therefore, Krishna, we must not fight. Therefore, we must not fight. Krishna also says, therefore, we should do this. Senses under control. What is the difference between these two tasmat? The first is a decision taken by the mind. Now listen to this passage carefully, because this next 10 minutes defines our life. Tasmad, therefore, the first therefore of Arjuna means the mind is liking something, it loves something, therefore a decision is taken. Right? Chapter 1, Arjuna says, my hands are shivering, my mouth is parched, I'm feeling temperature all over. My head is feeling giddy. Krishna, I can't fight. He puts the bow and arrow down. He is decided he is not going to fight. Why? Because he sees his near and dear ones. He sees on the other side Bhishma and Drona. And both of them, if they start fighting, and my side, all these children will die. What is the use of such a war? I don't want to fight. Decision is made. I don't want to fight. And then to convince Krishna why we should not fight. Remember the word we. It's not I should not. You are also, he brings Krishna also inside. Why should we not fight? And then he gives various reasons. What will happen if all of them will die? If all of them will die, who will do the puja? If all of them will not do the puja, then dharma will get destroyed. If dharma will get destroyed, all the women will become corrupt. All the women will be, there will be intercaste marriages. In these intercaste marriages, all the dharma will again be destroyed. Therefore, for the security of dharma, for the safeguard of the dharma, Krishna, we should not fight. So that everybody is alive to follow their other duties and responsibilities of establishing dharma, righteousness. But all these reasonings has come after he's already decided, I don't want to fight. This is how the mind thinks. The intellect that represents by Krishna, Krishna says it in a different, he gives all the information initially. This need to happen, this need to happen, this need to happen, therefore this must be done. So right from verse 57, 58, 60, he's been explaining about senses, how the senses take away the mind, how the mind takes away the intellect, what happens when the mind takes away the intellect, the between lines, dhyato vishaya punsa, the snowball effect, all that thing. And then he says, therefore, a wise person is considered who? Not who wears uniforms, has big ashrams, youth statues are put on. No. A wise person is one who can restrain his sense organ from its field of sense perception, object or being. Utna hi, that much, that's it. Spiritual people are not through uniform, are not through lectures. It's nothing external. Therefore, each one of us, whoever is listening here or anywhere else, whenever you try to control a single weakness of yours, even for Shanabhara, a moment, and your intellect says, I don't want to do it, and you deviate your energy to something else, which is much more better for your life, you are a spiritual person. Whether you believe in God or not, whether you believe in idol or not, it doesn't matter. You have become a spiritual person as soon as you know you are not going to dwell into something lower, and you will rise in every aspect of life. These two views of decision taken by the mind and decision taken by the intellect is beautifully covered in that poem Pond, where that chick is there by the side of the pond and it sees ducks moving in and out. And it looks at the ducks and says, my God, so much fun they are having, so much beautiful way they are swimming. I wish I could also swim. But, my mother, every time she keeps on saying, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. I don't even know my name is. I think so my name is don't go only. Because everything, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then she looks at it, but they are having so much fun. Swimming here, swimming there. I don't understand why mom is saying not to go. Because I don't see any difference between them and me. Both of us are same. My feet, my wings, my feather, for aught that I see, is as good as the ducks for swimming. Feet, wings, and feather, all are same. All three are different. But it wants to see the similarity, therefore says all are same. There is one difference. Though my beak is pointed, and their beaks are round. Is that any reason why I should be drowned? I don't think I'll be drowning for that reason, just because the difference on my beak. And then it says, I will just go and try to venture. I will even try my luck. For all that my mother had said, I am remarkably fond of the water. I am loving it. I love it. Decision is already made. I want to go. So the mind decides I want to go based on its likes and dislikes. And then it hijacks the intellect and tells the intellect, now you give reason why I am doing something. And the poor intellect, since it's weak at present, it follows the dictates of the mind. Therefore, here it is the intellect guiding the mind. That person is wisdom is established, whose sense organs is restrained from the sense contact, sense objects, not overindulging into anything, not suppressing it and become frustrated in life. No, you contact. Example of Krishna is given. We are doing Bhagavad Gita. Krishna contacted every aspect of life. But throughout life, he just went ahead. He never looked back saying, oh my God, this should have been this way. He just moved on. Including in the last moments when Gandhari gave him a curse, saying that just as my children died before my very eyes, Krishna, I curse you that all your whole generation will die before your very eyes. He just shrugged the shoulders and walked off. He said, everybody their own karma. Why should I be bothered? Do what I can to relieve it and move on. Tasmadasya. Therefore, that person is a wise person whose senses are under control. And how does he behave? There is not much difference in his behavior, but there is a tremendous amount of difference in his behavior. From within, not from without. That's the next verse. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. That which is night to all beings, therein the self-controlled one keeps awake. That in which beings are awake is night for the sage or to the sage who sees. Ya Nisha. So what is night for the world? Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti. There the wise one is awake. Don't say, yes, sir, I've seen a realized person like this. It is my building's own watchman. Because they are sleeping in the daytime and they are awake at night. No, that doesn't mean this. Self-realized person's view of the world, a spiritual person's view of the world is diametrically opposite to a person who is uneducated and so-called non-spiritual. The difference is very easy. Spiritual person doesn't consider the whole world as real. They understand everything that is happening around is temporary in nature. Therefore, they don't sit and get agitated as if any event that has happened is permanent. The worldly people, on the other hand, treat the world as extremely real. Since they treat the world as extremely real, all the relationships, all the sense objects are very real to them. And they lend a permanency towards everything that is happening. Therefore, they have the idea to sit and cry over everything that happened with an idea that, oh my God, this happened, now what to do? because they don't see the temporary. That's all is the difference. And what is this night and what is day? From the point of view of wealth, a common person is centered in money. His point of focus is earning, and everything revolves around it. A spiritual person's point of focus is self-evolution, and everything else is subsidiary, can be done without. It's a matter of degree. That's the difference. So where a worldly person lives and dies with the attitude of I want more and more and more and more and more, the spiritual person may have a lot, but they always have this attitude of, one person met me, a divine person. So he was quite well-to-do, So he gave some money. I said, how come you are giving so much money? He says, sir, I genuinely believe I am a postman. Taught me a very good lesson there. I am a postman. Nature has given some money to me to be given to people around, those who need help in whatever way. So one, I don't take anything for free. Everything I pay. There's this beautiful movie, Guess Who's Coming for Dinner Tonight. It's a very old movie. There, I forgot that person's name. He is calling one man. They call a guy there, and he comes and he's going to get married to the girl. So he is making a call from his would-be in-laws house to his parents, okay, and inviting them to come also to dinner to meet them. And he makes a call, and after making a call, he puts some money by the side of the phone. There is no dialogue there. The idea is nothing taken for free. So a person like this, he says, I am just a postman. I understand I'm nothing taken for free, and I'll do the utmost what I can. This attitude is spiritual. The other attitude of holding on to things and dying with it is the worldly person. That which is day is night. Physically, a worldly person indulges, abuses the physical frame of the body, and is considered healthy. Considered healthy. So how old are you? I ask any man, especially in India, how old are I'm around 45, 50. So by 45, 50, a little bit of stomach this is a sign of prosperity, sir. While, so this is what we call health. At the age of 45, 50, 55, a little bit is all right. Little knee niggling, little shoulder niggling, little head pain, little this is chalta hai because age is there. That thought. There was this one boy who joined our academy, and after 3 months, he was a little plump. After 3 months, when the parents came to meet him, the mother looked at him. He's become thin and wiry, not because of malnutrition, eating 3 times a day, but running around and exercising, and he's become wire-like, running around everywhere, very, very vibrant. The mother saw the child and she started sitting. She sat on the road and started crying. Oh my God, what happened to my child? What happened to my child? He was such a nice child. They ruined him. At that time, he didn't even have hair. Because of summer, they removed the hair. That's all. No compulsion. What the world considers health, a sage considers ill health. What a sage considers health is boring to the world. That you can see everywhere. This is physical. Mentally, what the world claims at love, we should love everybody, we should love everybody, we should love it. They say it, love everybody, but it is not love, it is thinking attachment. You define attachment as I am in love with this person. I'm using deliberately the word love, okay? I am in love with this person, I want to be lifelong or constantly with this person. I want to know where he's going, she is going, what they are doing. Every time it's like a tag in the collar tag around the dog's collarbone. Constantly, I want to know, and ride on his or her shoulder so much that the other person, out of disgust, says, please leave me alone. This so-called kind of love is nothing but attachment. And Ram Tirtha puts a beautiful law in this. If you are attached to any object or being, I am not allowing you to do whatever you want to do. I am not allowing you to get away from me. I'm holding on to you mentally. So I am agitated, and the object of my desire is also agitated, object or being of the desire. If you are attached to any object or being, you will suffer. Either that object or being will be taken away from you, or there will be a rupture between both of you, or one of them will die. This is attachment. And the whole world, every relationship, whatever they say, is completely attached. Expectation, this is how the other person should behave. Expectation of the other person from me, this is how I should behave. A spiritual person lets both these factors go. I will not dictate anybody to live how they want to live. Live and let live. It is the other way around. Let the other person live, I will live. They believe that. And they also make sure that they are not perchance forced to do something from the external pressure point of view. They'll do whatever is their duty, whatever they think is their duty. Love. So this is all attachment. Love. Definition of love. Love is understanding the other person as he or she is, not as you would like him or her to be. Love is understanding the other person as he or she is, not as you would like him or her to be. This is love. You are not seeking anything from the other person. Genuine love. You are not seeking anything. So why are you still in a relationship? Because I love you. So what should I do for you? Nothing. What do you expect me to do? Nothing. Can you be like a flower just blooming, just enjoying life, just breathing, having fun with life? Because when you tell that to the relationship, when you have fun with your life and you have a smile in your face, on your lips, my life is enough. My goal is done. One person only. This is actual love. And when you say love, you don't need to love the whole world. This love will only come when you love yourself. So on the mental plane, from the mind's level, where the whole world is attached and expecting things to be done, putting pressure on the other person that this is the way the other person should behave. Love is allowance. Love is saying, do what you want. I am only telling you, suggesting a change, because this change is better for you. I have no other axe to grind. Nothing else. This is the mind. Intellect. When the intellect goes towards the world, it talks only of profit and loss. Only a profit. What will I get? What will I get? What will I get? And all the reasonings will go downwards. Sir, higher values are, I understand. You have to be honest, satyam, ahimsa, brahmacharya, all those things are there. Completely agree. But we have to be practical also sometimes. We should always speak the truth. Sometimes we should be practical, no? See, we should eat always good food. I don't disagree that. But sometimes, sir, we should be practical. No? We should always earn our honest works wealth, whatever comes, whatever money is come is for honest. I agree to that completely. I never disagree. But sir, we have to be a little bit practical, you see. In the name of practicality, we lose our ideas and ideologies. We lose our goals in life. When some child is there, you ask the child, what do you want to become? A few years back, he would say, I want to become a doctor. I want to come back to India. I will go to America, become a doctor, come back to India, and then go to a particular village, open a beautiful hospital, and I'll serve the poor people. Such noble. I want to become a soldier. I want to fight for the country. I want to become an engineer. I want to make all the roads so beautiful, there is not a single hole or a pothole in between. Dreams. Nowadays, children, because of the various influences of the parents and the media, what do you want to become? I want to become rich. There's nothing, there's no higher. So the intellect from the worldly point of view goes downwards and makes you a brute. The intellect of a spiritual person goes upwards and inculcates higher values of life constantly. These types of people, the lower point of view, you give them knowledge also if they need for their own benefit. Listening to the whole knowledge, they will see, no, these people are trained to talk like that. Actually, none of this happens. I've got cases where students have asked questions to me. I've answered them, and somebody else answers it entirely in a different way, changing the whole content. So what should be done? Keep quiet. If you know, you know. That's it. Keep quiet. Higher intellect doesn't tamper with the lower. Let the lower be. It's a more showing off of all knowledge, showing off of emotions, showing off of wealth. All that is because wrong values of the intellect. Higher, it goes towards the higher values. I want to become a better person, a better influencer in the world. That's all. Whoever comes around me, they should at least look at me as a person and say, this person is teaching Vedanta. I don't think it is very bad. And that's it. That's enough. Nothing else. No antagonizing of anybody. This is at the intellectual level. And in the spiritual level, where the whole world is steeped in mechanical rituals, just rituals are going on everywhere. Puja, puja, puja. Blind superstitions. If you do that, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. You should do this puja, this will happen. Blind superstition. Mechanical rituals where a truly spiritual person understands who and what that essence of God is. And since they have understood that infinite, which is very difficult because they have understood they are infinite, they are trying to transact that infinite wisdom through the finite equipment, through the finite language of the body, mind, and intellect. And therefore, majority of people can never understand this subject because of the limitations of this vehicle, the limitations of language. You can give all the books and all the knowledge to people around, but how can you inspire anybody to a better living? So the whole world is seen from two different viewpoints, from a spiritual person's point of view, from a worldly point of view, and yet the spiritual person lives in the same world. There is no difference whatsoever. They do the same activities, they eat the same kind of food, they will do every aspect, they'll maintain relationships in the same way, but internally they have understood what life is all about. We'll continue next time. Thank you. Hari Om.